Well, yeah, it's been great to hear from people the past few weeks, hasn't it? To hear some of their story. And I was just thinking today, as we hear from Alex, we've left the longest to last. Alex has been with us in our church family since church actually began, 13 years ago. So we look forward to hearing from him. What I appreciate about Alex is just your ability to keep it real. You keep things real. You speak honestly, and so it'll be a joy to hear the truth of Jesus that he has to share from his life this morning. But listen, I'm going to put aside completely trying to stress you out because I know it doesn't work. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so obviously my name is Alex. 24 years old. I'm based here in Waterford, and I came to Ireland when I was 9. So, and in 2 weeks' time I'll be here for 15 years. And yeah, I've been here for 15 years. Been in this church since it started, like Colin said, and I'm the youngest of 3. And yeah, that's it.
Cool. If you had to choose 3 words to maybe give us a flavour of who you are, what would you say?
I'd say quite optimistic. I am patient. Then I'm a bit too nonchalant, I'd say.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the 3.
Okay. Nonchalant, I like. Thanks for sharing those, Alex. We find ourselves in the middle of Christmas, or very, very close to it. Could you tell us something you really like about Christmas and something that you maybe don't like so much?
Yeah. I'm not really a festive person, but I do like the atmosphere that Christmas brings. Like, you know, the joy in people's faces and everything, because nobody wants to be that moody person in Christmas, you know. No one wants to ruin the mood, so that's what I like. But yeah, I can appreciate that, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing that I don't like is just, there's a lot of things that I don't like about Christmas, but to keep it, you know, to be positive, I don't like.
Just keep it to 1 for balance.
No, but like, to keep it positive is the fact that you know, when it ends, everything kind of goes back to, everything is boring again. Everyone goes back to that dull, robotic, you know, lifestyle. So that's what I don't like, you know.
Okay. So it kind of brings you up and then.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Christmas is a time for us when we can remember the coming of Jesus. He came into our world to bring us home to himself, we've been saying this morning, really. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how that's been in your life? Big question, I know, but in what way has God maybe come and brought you to himself?
Yeah. I just, you know, try to give context to it. So I was born in a Christian household. I've been attending church since for as long as I can remember. So I knew Jesus all my life, and I used to, you know, as a kid, I was always in church, but it wasn't because of my own choice. Obviously, it's because my mother, you know, brought me to church. If it was out of my decision, you know, I probably wouldn't have gone. But yes, I was born in a Christian household. But when I say I knew of Jesus, there's a catch to that. You can know something, but it's up to you if you actually want to accept it or go ahead with it. So since, you know, from the ages of about, you know, 10, 11, 12, like I said, I knew of Jesus, but I wasn't actually doing what I was supposed to do. So even back in school, I wasn't really, you know, the best of kids. Not that I was a bad kid, but I wasn't the best of kids. And I did know in my conscience that I'm not, you know, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm not, you know, what I learned in church the previous Sunday, or what I learned in Sunday school. I literally just forget about it and just, you know, do my own thing. And as a kid, you don't really care, just like, you know, whatever. And so that's been going on for, you know, secondary school. And when I got to the ages of 15, 16, that's when, not that things took a bad turn, but I was hanging around with not the best group of kids. And, you know, at the time you don't really see it. So since then, I always feel myself, not that I was looking for them, but I always found myself not with the best group of kids. And I then moved to college, and once again, I wasn't really, you know, with the best company. And the thing about that as well is the people that I was with, you know, some of them were Christians, so it was a thing of like, oh, if you're a Christian and I'm a Christian, it's okay if we do these bad things together. It's not that bad, So at the time, you don't really, like I said, you don't really see it as a bad thing. You just see it as, oh, you're having a laugh with the boys. But looking back now, we're just being complete menaces, So anyway, I moved back home in summer, no, not summer, 2019. So just before 2020, and not that I stopped, but I kind of cooled down on the things I was doing. But I still wasn't moving like someone that would claim that they're a Christian. So that was going on, and it wasn't until summer 2021 that my best friend to this day that I chat to him every day, and he just sent me a text saying, you need to get closer to God. So I looked at it and I was like, okay, coming from you, that's interesting, So I looked at it and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And around that time, I could hear God knocking. And just another thing as well that I forgot to say is, during those years since I was 15, 16, 17, 18, God was putting me in situations where He was saying, come back to me, come back to me, come back to me. But I was ignoring it. But that day, around that time where my best friend texted me, was summer 2021. I could hear God saying, enough is enough, like that's it, And I remember one day I sat down and said, okay, let me actually dwell in, And I remember I was watching this video I was watching, I forgot what it was, but it was the first time where I actually felt like I understood the grace of Jesus and his love that He has. And I'm not someone that cries. Like, you could put the saddest thing in front of me. Not that I think that mentioning crying or anything like that. I find it hard to cry, unfortunately. And I remember listening to what this man was saying, and I just started to cry. At the time, I didn't know that was the Holy Spirit. I literally didn't know. I was just, I thought it was just this bunch of feelings that were happening to me. I couldn't point exactly which feeling it was, but I just started to cry. And ever since then, that's when, my life changed. And so that was summer 2021. So that's 2 years. I was 22 at the time. So that's it.
Cool. Thanks for taking the time to bring us through those different stages, Alex. We've been thinking a little bit of coming home to God today, and there's almost the idea you came home to Waterford a little bit, but God was almost, you were saying to me, you felt Him knocking, you felt Him saying, home, and then have that experience of knowing His grace, so look, thanks for sharing that, so encouraging. Someone who maybe isn't part of our church family or isn't practicing Christian faith at all, what do you think they might find surprising about Jesus?
Yeah, I have 2 things to say about that. So the first thing is, I feel like the first thing that they'd say is, religion. Alarm bells start ringing, and and what I'd say is, Jesus is not a religion. It's not a thing where you give and you take, or you have to do this thing at this exact time, or be at this place at this certain time, and then you get this thing off Jesus. It's not that. It's a relationship. It's a communication thing, and I feel like most people say, well, why would I follow religion if all these things happen because of religion? Like, let's say the Crusades, for example. All these things, and I'd say you're completely right. I wouldn't follow religion either, but I would follow Jesus, because I think Jesus and religion are 2 completely different things. And it's like Hosanna said a couple of weeks ago as well, is the fact that He just wants you the way you are. Like, He just come as you are. He doesn't expect you to be this type of person before you come to Him. He just wants you the way you are. And the best analogy I can say to that is when the thief on the cross, and the thief said, Jesus, remember me when you come to your kingdom. And Jesus didn't say, okay, before I do that, you first have to get baptized, you first have to give all your wages away to, charity. You first have to, he didn't say that. He just said, today you will be with me in paradise. So That's the one thing. And then the second thing is just the unconditional love that he brings. I fully believe that you can't find that in this world at all. There's so much you can do to someone, whether it's your partner or a family member, until they just decide to step out. And I feel like a lot of people are looking for that, and they can't find it because it's not here. You can only find it in Jesus. And once again, sorry for the analogies. I just like to use them just to get my point across. But Jesus, he's a gentleman. You know, he knocks at your door, and he keeps knocking. He keeps knocking, and you can open that door and say the meanest things to him. You can ignore him. You can you can tell him, don't come back here, and he'll say, that's okay. When you're ready, when you're here. It's the devil that comes into the side door, and he comes into the house and he turns your house upside down, and Jesus sees that, but he's still there waiting if you're going to open the door. So that's what I'd say for that.
Okay. And when it comes to like church family, what might someone, do you think, find surprising about church?
It's the fact that it's not a place where you should feel judged or anything. I think that they would find surprising is the fact that you would probably find someone that has the same struggle as you, and it's not that they'd hide it. And even if it's someone that doesn't have the same struggle, they either had it in the past or can understand your point of view. You can chat to someone or help each other out there coming over that struggle. It wouldn't be a thing where they'd say, oh, why are you doing that? How did you get to that point? No, it's like a family, literally. It's welcome, it's all.
Cool.
That's what I'd say.
Thanks, Alex. We're nearly there. Just want to say you can relax, but you've been relaxed the whole time. How can we pray for you in this Christmas?
Yeah. I'd say just for strength and for wisdom. Strength and wisdom. For you that don't know, I have 2 jobs and I also have a business in Belfast, and at the moment I'm kind of finding it hard to spend time with God as much as I'd want to. So just have that prioritization, because I don't think you never have time for God. I think you always do. It's just about what you prioritize. So just to pray that I get to spend more time with God, and just to put me in rooms with the right people, with smart people, and discernment basically.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex.